Right now, as you watch this video, you are living in the past. Not metaphorically. Literally, every single thing you see, hear, and experience happened before you became aware of it. The screen in front of you, the sound of my voice, the light hitting your eyes, all of it is old news by the time your brain processes it. You think you are experiencing the present moment, but you are not. You are always behind, always catching up, always chasing something that has already happened. And here is the strangest part. There is nothing you can do about it. This is not some philosophical idea. This is physics. Stephen Hawking understood this. Einstein understood this. And once you understand it, you will never see reality the same way again. So let me ask you something. What does it mean to experience now? What is the present moment? You think it is simple. It is happening right now. This moment. But is it? When you see something, light has to travel from that object to your eyes. That takes time. Not much, but it takes time. Then that light has to be converted into electrical signals in your retina. Those signals have to travel through your optic nerve to your brain. Your brain has to process those signals, make sense of them, construct an image. All of that takes time. By the time you see something, it has already happened. You are not seeing the present. You are seeing the past. And it gets worse. Sound is even slower than light. Way slower. If you are watching someone speak across the room, you see their lips move before you hear what they are saying. Your brain has to sync it up, make it seem like it is happening at the same time, but at least not everything is delayed. Everything is out of sync. Your brain just does an incredible job of hiding that fact from you. It creates the illusion of a seamless present moment, but that illusion is built on delays, on processing time, on signals traveling through neurons at speeds that are fast for biology but painfully slow compared to the speed of light. Now think about what that means for the stars. When you look up at the night sky, you are looking into the past, deep into the past. The light from those stars has been traveling for years, decades, centuries, sometimes millions of years before it reaches your eyes. The star you are looking at might not even exist anymore. It could have exploded, collapsed into a black hole, burned out completely, but you would not know. You cannot know. Because the information, the light that tells you what happened, is still on its way. The universe has a speed limit. And that speed limit means there is no such thing as universal now. There is no moment that is the present for everyone everywhere. The present is local. It is relative. It depends on where you are and how fast you are moving. If you are enjoying this deep dive into how reality actually works, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, tap the like button. It helps more people discover these ideas. And if this blows your mind the way it blew mine, share it with someone who loves thinking about the universe. All right, let us keep going. This all goes back to something fundamental, the speed of light. 300 million meters per second. Fast. Unimaginably fast, but it is not infinite. And that changes everything. See, if information could travel infinitely fast, if light moved instantaneously, then we could have a universal now. Everyone everywhere could agree on what is happening at this exact moment, but that is not the universe we live in. Information takes time to travel, and the maximum speed it can travel is the speed of light. Nothing can go faster. Not light, not information, not cause and effect. This is not some technological limitation. This is built into the structure of spacetime itself. Einstein realized this over a century ago. He started with a simple observation. Light always travels at the same speed, always, no matter who measures it, no matter how fast you are moving. If you are standing still and you measure the speed of light, you get 300 million meters per second. If you are on a spaceship moving at half the speed of light and you measure it, You still get 300 million meters per second. That should not make sense. Speeds should add up. If you throw a ball forward from a moving train, the ball moves faster than if you threw it while standing still. But light does not work that way. Light always moves at the same speed relative to you, no matter how fast you are moving. Why? Einstein figured it out. Time and space are not fixed. They bend. They stretch. They compress. When you move faster, time slows down for you. Your clock literally ticks slower. And space contracts. The distance in front of you gets compressed. These effects are real. They are not illusions. Time actually slows. Space actually shrinks. And the amount they change is exactly the right amount to make the speed of light come out the same for everyone. The universe adjusts time and space to keep the speed of light constant. Think about what that means. The speed of light is not just a speed. It is a fundamental property of space-time. It is woven into the fabric of reality. You cannot go faster than light because space-time itself will not let you. Now, let me take you back to something simpler, something that started this whole avalanche of discoveries. Isaac Newton, gravity, the moon. Newton was trying to understand why the moon orbits the Earth. Why does it not just fly off into space? Why does it not fall down and crash into us? He realized something brilliant. The moon is falling. It is falling toward the Earth constantly. But it is also moving sideways. And because it is moving sideways fast enough, it keeps missing the Earth. It falls toward us but never hits us. That is what an orbit is. Continuous, falling while moving sideways fast enough to keep missing. Newton did not stop there. He calculated how far the moon should fall toward the Earth in 1 second if gravity follows an inverse square law. If you go twice as far away, gravity gets 4 times weaker. 3 times as far, 9 times weaker. The moon is 60 times farther from the center of the Earth than we are standing on the surface. So, gravity at the moon should be 3,600 times weaker. On Earth, things fall 16 feet in 1 second. At the moon, with gravity 3,600 times weaker, something should fall 16 feet divided by 3,600. That is about 1/20th of an inch per second. Newton calculated it. And it matched perfectly. The moon was falling at exactly the rate his law predicted. This was huge. Newton took to completely independent facts. How fast things fall on Earth, how long it takes the moon to orbit, and he connected them with one law. Gravity follows an inverse square law. Everything clicked into place. Planets move in ellipses. Kepler had measured that but did not know why. Newton explained it. The tides happen twice a day. People noticed that but did not understand it. Newton explained it. The moon pulls on the water. The water on the near side gets pulled more because it is closer. The water on the far side gets pulled less because it is farther. 2 bulges. 2 tides per day. One law explained everything. But here is where it gets interesting. As scientists got better at measuring things, they found something weird. The moons of Jupiter were not behaving exactly as Newton predicted. They would be 8 minutes ahead of schedule sometimes. 8 minutes behind schedule other times. That is a massive discrepancy. Something was wrong. Either Newton's law was wrong, or something else was going on. A man named Raymer figured it out. The moons appeared ahead of schedule when Jupiter was close to Earth, behind schedule when Jupiter was far away. Why? Because light takes time to travel. When Jupiter is close, the light from its moons reaches us faster. When Jupiter is far, it takes longer. Raymer had to correct for the travel time of light. And by measuring how much the moons were early or late, he calculated the speed of light. This was the first proof that light does not travel instantaneously. It has a speed. A finite speed. Think about what just happened there. Scientists trusted Newton's law of gravity so much that when something did not match, they did not throw out the law. They looked for another explanation, and they found one. Light has a speed. This is how science works. Each discovery builds on the last. Each new insight opens doors to more insights. Newton discovered gravity by watching the moon. Raymer discovered the speed of light by trusting gravity and watching Jupiter's moons. Einstein discovered relativity by realizing the speed of light is constant. Thousands of experiments confirmed it. Each step built on the previous one. An avalanche of discoveries that has been going on for 400 years. And we are still avalanching along at high speed right now. Okay, quick pause. If you are still here, if this is making your brain buzz in the best way, take 2 seconds. Like this video. Share it with someone. Leave a comment. Tell me what is blowing your mind the most. Your engagement keeps this channel alive. Let us continue. So now we know light has a speed, and it is always the same speed for everyone. But what does that actually mean for reality? For the present moment, for what is happening now? Here is where things get truly strange. Imagine you are on Earth and your friend is on Mars. You both agree to clap your hands at exactly the same time. But what does that mean? The same time according to whom? If you clap your hands and you could somehow see your friend instantly, you might think you clapped at the same time. But you cannot see instantly. Light takes time to travel. It takes about 3 minutes for light to travel from Earth to Mars, when they are closest. So when you see your friend clap, that happened 3 minutes ago, not now, 3 minutes ago. But it gets worse. What if someone else is watching both of you from a spaceship moving very fast? From their perspective, because of how time and space warp when you move, they might see your friend clap before you do, or after you do, depending on how fast they are moving and in which direction. There is no universal agreement on what happens at the same time. Simultaneity is relative. Two events that seem simultaneous to you might not be simultaneous to someone else. And both of you are right. There is no absolute now. The present moment is not universal. It is local. It depends on your reference frame, on where you are, on how fast you are moving. This is one of the most mind-bending consequences of relativity. The universe does not have a single present moment that everyone can agree on. Instead, each observer has their own present, their own slice of space-time that they call now, and those slices do not line up. They tilt. They shift, depending on motion, depending on gravity. Your now is different from my now if we are moving differently, not by much if we are moving slowly, but different nonetheless. And if we could move close to the speed of light, the difference would be enormous. Years, decades, centuries. Your now and my now could be separated by vast stretches of time. Let me give you another example. Imagine two spaceships passing each other in space, moving in opposite directions at very high speed. On one ship, a light flashes at the front and the back of the ship at the same time, according to someone standing still relative to that ship. But what does someone on the other ship see? They see the light at the back flash first, then the light at the front, because from their perspective, the ship is moving, and the motion changes what counts as simultaneous. Both observers are correct. From one perspective, the lights flashed at the same time. From the other perspective, they did not. There is no absolute truth about which happened first. It depends on your motion. Now, here is the part that ties it all together. Why can nothing go faster than light? Why is that the speed limit? Most people think it is just a rule. Einstein said so, but it is not a rule. It is a consequence of how space-time works. Remember, time and space are connected. They are part of the same thing, space-time. And space-time has a structure, a geometry. And that geometry has a maximum rate at which cause and effect can propagate. That rate is the speed of light. Not because light is special, but because spacetime itself has this built-in conversion factor between space and time. The speed of light is the speed at which now propagates through the universe. It is the speed at which information can travel. It is the maximum rate of change. If you could go faster than light, you would be moving backward in time. You would arrive before you left. Cause and effect would break down. You could send a message to the past. You could create paradoxes. The universe does not allow that, not because of some law, but because of the structure of spacetime itself. Going faster than light is not just hard. It is meaningless. It is like asking what is north of the North Pole. The question does not make sense. The speed of light is the limit because spacetime has a maximum rate of change. And that is it. There is no deeper why. That is just how the universe is built. But here is something beautiful. We can test this. We have tested this. Over. Particles in accelerators get pushed to 99.9999% the speed of light. And guess what? The closer they get, the harder it becomes to push them faster. Exactly as Einstein predicted, their mass increases. Their inertia increases. It takes more and more energy to accelerate them even a tiny bit more. To actually reach the speed of light would require infinite energy, which is impossible. So nothing with mass can ever reach it, not because we lack the technology, but because the universe will not allow it. GPS satellites have to account for this. They are moving fast. They are in a weaker gravitational field. So time passes differently for them than for us on the ground. If we did not correct for this, GPS would be off by miles within a day. This is not theory. This is engineering. We have to account for relativity to make GPS work. Muons, created in the upper atmosphere by cosmic rays, should decay before reaching the ground. Their lifetime is too short. But they are moving close to the speed of light. So time slows down for them. From their perspective, they live long enough to reach the ground. From our perspective, they live longer because they are moving fast. Either way, more muons reach the ground than should, exactly as relativity predicts. It is sure. It is tested. It is real. So let me bring this all the way back to where we started. You are living in the past. Every single moment of your life is delayed. By the time light reaches your eyes, by the time your brain processes it, the event has already happened. You are always seeing old information. Always reacting to the past, never the present. And there is no universal present to catch up to anyway. The present is relative. It depends on where you are, how fast you are moving. Your now is not the same as my now. We are all living in our own personal slice of space-time, all experiencing our own version of the present, all chasing something that has already happened. And here is the truly humbling part. When you look at the stars, you are looking back in time. Millions of years back in time. Some of those stars are already dead, but you cannot know. The light that would tell you has not arrived yet. The universe has a speed limit. Information cannot travel faster than light. So the past is always mixed in with what you see. The present is always out of reach. You are living in a time delay. A delay imposed by the structure of spacetime itself. A delay that can never be eliminated. You will always be living in the past. Always chasing a present that moves away from you at the speed of light. Before we wrap up, I want to thank you for sticking with this journey. If this changed the way you think about reality, if it made you question what now even means, then hit that like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into physics and the nature of reality. Share this with someone who loves thinking about the universe. Your support makes these videos possible. Now, let me leave you with one final thought. The speed of light is not just a number. It is not just the fastest thing in the universe. It is the key to understanding how space and time work. It is the thing that shows us the universe is stranger and more beautiful than we ever imagined. Newton started this avalanche by watching the moon fall. Raymer measured the speed of light by watching Jupiter. Einstein realized the speed of light is constant and discovered relativity. Thousands of scientists confirmed it through experiments, each discovery built on the last. Each insight opened new doors. And that avalanche has been going on for 400 years. We are still discovering, still testing, still pushing the boundaries of what we know. And the fact that we can understand it, that we can measure it, test it, predict things with it, that is the beauty of physics. Not comfort, not simplicity, truth. The universe does not care if it makes sense to you. It does not care if it is intuitive. It just is. And the speed of light, that strange, constant, unchanging speed, is woven into the fabric of everything. It determines what you can know, what you can see, what counts as now. It is the speed at which reality propagates, the speed at which cause and effect move through spacetime, the maximum rate of change, the cosmic speed limit. You are living in the past. You always have been. You always will be. There is no escaping it. The speed of light makes sure of that. Every moment you experience happened before you became aware of it. Every star you see is a ghost of something that might no longer exist. Every person you look at is a snapshot from a few nanoseconds ago. The present is always just out of reach, always moving forward at the speed of light. And you, stuck in spacetime, bound by the laws of physics, can only chase it, can only watch as the universe unfolds in delayed frames, one moment after another, forever living in a past that pretends to be the present. Let me give you something else to think about, something that makes this even more profound. When you try to accelerate something with mass to the speed of light, you run into a wall, not a physical wall. A mathematical wall, a wall built into the structure of spacetime itself. As you push something faster and faster, it gets heavier. Not heavier in the sense that you added more atoms to it. Heavier in the sense that its inertia increases. Its resistance to acceleration grows. The faster you go, the more energy it takes to go even faster. And as you approach the speed of light, the energy required approaches infinity. Think about what that means. To reach the speed of light, you would need infinite energy, which does not exist, which cannot exist, so you can never get there. Not because your rocket is not powerful enough. Not because your technology is not advanced enough. But because the universe fundamentally will not allow it. The laws of physics prevent it. The structure of spacetime prevents it. Light can travel at that speed because photons have no mass, zero mass. They do not have inertia. They do not resist acceleration. They simply move at the speed of light, always. They cannot move slower. They cannot move faster. They have no choice. But anything with mass, even a single electron, can only get close, very close. 99.99999% of the speed of light, but never quite there. The universe has built in a speed limit, not as a rule, not as a law that someone wrote down, but as a consequence of how spacetime works. You are always moving through spacetime at a constant rate, always. But that motion is divided between space and time. If you are sitting still in space, all your motion is through time. You are moving into the future at maximum speed, 1 second per second. But if you start moving through space, you divert some of that motion away from time. You are now moving through both space and time, which means you are moving through time more slowly. The faster you move through space, the slower you move through time. This is time dilation. This is real. This is measured. Atomic clocks on airplanes tick slower than atomic clocks on the ground. GPS satellites have to correct for this every single day. And there is a maximum. If you could move through space at the speed of light, you would have zero motion left for time. Time would stop for you completely. This is why photons do not experience time. From a photon's perspective, it is emitted from a star and absorbed by your eye in the same instant. No time passes for the photon. The entire journey happens in zero time. The universe is frozen from the photon's point of view. You cannot go faster than light because you cannot have less than zero motion through time. That is the limit. That is the wall. You cannot go backward in time. You cannot undo causality. Cause must come before effect, always. And the speed of light is the speed at which causality propagates. It is the speed at which cause and effect move through the universe. If you could go faster, you could send a signal to your own past. You could create a paradox. You could receive a message before it was sent. The universe does not allow that. Not because of philosophy, not because of logic, but because of the geometry of space-time. Now, let me connect this back to something you experience every single day. Your brain. Your perception. When you see something happen, your brain does not just passively record it. Your brain actively constructs what you see. It fills in gaps. It predicts what should be there. It synchronizes signals that arrive at different times. When you watch someone clap their hands across the room, the light reaches your eyes almost instantly. But the sound takes longer. Sound travels at only 340 meters per second. Much slower than light. So you see the clap before you hear it. But your brain adjusts. It delays the visual signal slightly so that the sight and sound line up. It creates the illusion that they happened at the same time, but they did not. Your brain is lying to you. Creating a seamless experience out of delayed, desynchronized information, your brain does this constantly, every moment of every day. It is building a model of reality based on old data, based on signals that took time to arrive, based on processing that takes time to complete. The world you see is not the world as it is right now. It is the world as it was a fraction of a second ago. And your brain smooths it all out, makes it seem continuous, makes it seem like you are experiencing the present, but you are not. You are experiencing a carefully constructed illusion of the present, built from the past. And this is where it gets philosophical. If everyone is experiencing their own delayed version of reality, if the present is relative and local, then what is real? What is actually happening right now? The answer is there is no universal right now. There is no moment that is the present for the entire universe. The universe does not have a global clock. It does not have a single timeline that everything follows. Instead, it has countless timelines, countless reference frames, each one with its own version of now, each one equally valid. The universe is a patchwork of overlapping present moments, none of them synchronized, all of them real. This is what Einstein discovered. This is what relativity tells us. Time is not absolute. Space is not absolute. They are relative. They depend on motion. They depend on gravity. Two observers moving at different speeds will disagree about what is happening now. They will disagree about the order of events. They will disagree about how much time has passed. And both of them will be correct. Because there is no absolute reference frame. There is no privileged perspective. The universe does not care which one of you is right. You are both right, from your own point of view. Now think about what this means for communication, for connection. When you talk to someone, you are not talking to the present version of them. You are talking to the past version. The sound of their voice takes time to reach you. The light reflecting off their face takes time to reach your eyes. By the time you see and hear them, they have already moved on. They are already different, already changed. Even if just by a tiny amount, you are always interacting with the past, with echoes of people who no longer exist in quite the same state. And they are doing the same with you. We are all ghosts to each other, haunting each other with our past selves. This is true on Earth, but it becomes extreme in space. When astronauts talk to mission control from the International Space Station, there is a delay. Only a fraction of a second, but it is there. When astronauts talk to mission control from the Moon, the delay is over 2 seconds. Round trip. When we talk to rovers on Mars, the delay can be up to 20 minutes. Each way. 40 minutes for a conversation. You ask a question. 20 minutes later, the rover receives it. 20 minutes after that, you get the response. By the time you hear back, the rover has already moved on, already done other things. You are talking to a version of the rover that no longer exists. And this gets worse the farther you go. If we ever send humans to Mars, they will be truly alone, truly isolated, cut off from real-time communication with Earth, living in their own bubble of space-time, their own present moment, separated from ours by millions of miles and many minutes of light travel time. They will make decisions, experience things, live entire moments that we will not know about until long after they have passed. They will be living in a different now than we are, and we will never be able to sync up, never be able to share the same present moment. The speed of light makes sure of that. Stephen Hawking understood this. Einstein understood this. And now you understand it too. The universe is not what it seems. Time is not what you think. Space is not separate from time. And the present, that fleeting moment you think you are experiencing right now, is not really now at all. It is the past dressed up as the present. And the speed of light is the reason why. That is the truth. That is reality. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. Welcome to the universe as it actually is. Strange, beautiful, and forever just out of sync.